So, a lot of people ask me, why can't people change, or why don't people transform, or, why do some people have better transformation than others when they come and see me? So, a few of the things that I've kind of looked at and looked back at client cases as to why they haven't changed or why they haven't transformed. Number one, they don't want it enough. They don't want to change. They thought might have wanted to change, but actually they don't want to change. Or they wanted to change because they were coming to change for someone else. So they were stopping drinking or stopping smoking for family or, society or something like that. So they weren't doing it for themselves. Number three, they weren't invested enough. Sometimes, they haven't invested it in themselves. They haven't said, you know what, I'm going to go all in and I'm going to do the full package with Lorraine or something. They put their toe in the water, but they don't fully invest. Not willing to listen to the hypnotic recording. So part of my service, you get your own personalized hypnotic recording to listen to every day for a minimum of 30 days. And so people are, I'm too busy, I don't have enough time. Now, a recording is kind of somewhere between 18 and 25 minutes. So, it's like I can find 20 minutes in my day to sit down and listen to a recording, either first thing in the morning or last thing at night. So I can just put it on as I go to sleep. If I sleep alone, I can just put it on loud. If I'm sleeping in a room with my partner, for example, I put an earphone in my ear, and then when it's finished, I just take it out and go to sleep. So, so they're not willing to do that. They make excuses around, oh, I didn't have time to listen, I forgot to listen. So that's a key one. And also giving up before the miracle happens. Like 30 days is the minimum. So some people come to me and they may have had their issue in their life for 30, 40, 50, 60 years even, for some clients. And so they come and they think, oh, one session and 30 days and I'll be transformed. And 30 days is the minimum. So recently I had a young girl come and see me at our 30-day catch-up. She hadn't had as much shift as she would have liked. We decided together that she would listen another 30 days before we see whether we need another session. And she's now emailed me saying, wow, I'm really starting to see the shifts. So in that 30 to 60 day period, her mind decided, okay, she really wants this. I'm going to start shifting. I'm going to start changing. And then the change started to happen. Sometimes people come and see me and they have one session. They might have really high expectations because some of the marketing around what I do is like one session wonder, and that may be so for some things, but most people are 1 to 3 sessions per issue. So if you're coming and you've had an issue for a long time, or you've had anxiety or depression or overeating or even excess weight, things like that, like one session might not be enough. Because in the first session, we might see one of the reasons that your mind needs you to overeat or be overweight, for example. So, for example, a client recently came to see me, and in the first session, we saw a lot of scenes around being forced to eat, not allowed to leave the table till you're finished, eat your dinner up, full. And so what that taught her mind was to override the feeling of fullness. So when we're born, we are all born with an innate ability to understand when I'm full. A message goes to my brain and says, hey, I'm full now, stop eating. And so I can stop eating. But if you've been raised in a family where you weren't allowed to leave the table till you finished your meal, you were always taught to overeat, so your mind now doesn't have that ability to say, hey, I'm full, so you just eat and eat and eat. So that's very habitual. We saw a lot of habits in her first session around that type of behavior. If she was out, she would always finish everything, which means that sometimes we eat more than we actually need to. So she was struggling a bit, not seeing as much shifts. We had a catch up. We went in and did the second session, and the secondary gain, so we saw all of that in the first session. The secondary gain was all around safety and protection, and like when she felt insignificant, her mind wanted her to eat to be bigger, therefore significant. Now, that is not logical from it. We know that that's not true. The bigger you are, the more significant you are. But when her mind was a child, her mind was like, I feel small, I feel insignificant. What's going to make me big? Eat. Eating makes me big. And now she's a grown woman. She doesn't need to get bigger. She is significant, whatever size she is, whatever size we are all significant. That's a given. We are all enough. We are all lovable. But her mind believed that I need to be bigger to be those things. So, things like physical pains or physical symptoms, the age old, oh, not tonight, honey, I've got a headache. an excuse. It's a reason. It might, give me the ability to say no. So, I've had sessions with clients where the first session, the physical symptom, the physical issue was all around keeping them safe, maybe giving them ability to say no to sex, for example. But the physical symptom also got you love and attention, maybe. So, I can't do X, Y, and Z because I've got a headache. But, when I've got a headache, somebody puts me to bed in a darkened room, maybe gives me a nice little head massage. Oh, it's very nice. I get love and attention. So the first session, we might have seen that pain gives me the ability to be safe and to say no. But, I'm still getting this secondary benefit of getting all this love and attention. Getting the mind to understand that I can let go of that secondary gain because I can get love and attention in healthier ways. I don't need to be sick. So people don't want it enough. They're doing it for someone else and not for themselves. They're not willing to listen to the recording for the 30 days, let alone keeping it going. Don't give up before the miracle happens. They don't feel enough pain yet either is another one, this is causing me a little bit of an issue, and maybe I'd like to change it, but it's not enough pain, because we will change when the pain of staying the same is more painful than the pain of change, because change does have an element of pain, because when we change, it changes relationships around us. So we might be in an environment that if we change it, it feels more unsafe, or it feels more confronting because I have to stand up for myself. I have to speak up. I have to say no. I have to, put myself first in a relationship where maybe I've always put somebody else first. And it challenges the environment that we're in. So that can also be something that, stops people from changing a little bit. Resistance, when I have a client that is resisting listening to the recording, I will always suggest another session, because we go in and we find what that resistance is. And I've done quick little Zoom gnosis sessions with clients, just like 20-40 minutes on Zoom, in a coaching call, just to check in and say, I'm the part of Mary, for example. I'm the part of Mary who's resisting listening to the recording, and it's because, and then something will always come up, and that could be a secondary gain. It could be, but if I change, so and so is not going to like me. If I get too successful, maybe people won't like me. All of these kind of things that come in the way. So there you go. Hope you've managed to stay for the whole 7 minutes or so, but there are some reasons why people don't change, and hopefully that's been useful and helpful to you.